Hey guys, I'm just gonna do a little review and workout of the Century crank split machine. You know, the first video I did about this was how you can put this, instead of putting it on the horizontal plane, you can put it on the vertical plane, right? So, and by doing that, you use the weight and you unlatch it. And naturally, these pads, due to gravity and the weight of these, the metal itself, and it being unhinged, will automatically be taut with your legs, make your legs tight. And you can actually see, due to the constant weight of this and gravity helping it push it down, you can actually see the legs actively becoming more and more opening and thus being more flexible. You can see it because you got more objects to see. You can see these things more basically. Every now and then, it's good to use a horizontal because you can do different angles. You know. So, plus you can tell where you are with these. Or if you have the camera here, you can actually see the number, the degrees that your legs are at the moment. So let's just go. So this is a big handle. Tiny handle which unlatches it. So right now I'm at roughly 115. I like to be conscious of like what I need to do, because sometimes you get in a stretch routine and you just don't know what you're doing, and it's hard to have structure sometimes because you just forget about it. You just actively want to do it, that you don't put much into planning, or in the opposite scale, you can put too much into planning and not do it. I like basing my plans on like the reality of my goals. My goals are how I like to base my workout plans based on my goal, basically. I like to make my goals reality. So for me, it's easier to do a long-term, consistent, just constant, conscious workout routines, and simple. Make it simple. So by doing that, breathing, 3 directions, and emphasis on attempt, because if I attempt to do my best, I'm getting the best results at that time. It doesn't matter about depth. It's all matter about your intention and your consistency. So what I like to do is just be, when I get here, just not to be so tight, because obviously I've been talking for a long time. It's not that painful. And I'm missing a piece. Usually there would be a crank right here, and you can just pull yourself forward. But for me, I can just lean forward. So when you first get here, you want to go to an angle that's not that hard on you, but you can just slightly feel it, barely. Or sometimes I like going to the point where beneath that, where it's like, okay, if I know if I do one more crank, I'm gonna slightly feel it. So I'm gonna stop it right before I start slightly feeling it. So back straight, shoulders down, lift your ears. So basically, I'm gonna take advantage of the crank system. It's a measurable way of seeing a goal. You think one crank, okay, that's like a lap. Think of it like a lap. If you're from that mindset, or if you come from a gym mindset, it's a set. So what I like to do is come out good breaths, as you saw. Lift your diet as you're lifting your arm. Inhale through the nose. As you come down, push your hands to the earth. Exhale. Do that 3 to 5 times. Then you actively stretch your spine, intending to lift, as if you're trying to lift each vertebrae apart from each other. At the same time, intentionally sinking your lower half to the ground, actively pulling them apart in your mind. And you want to go 3 breaths here and actively push as you're going. I'm out of breath basically right now. Or you can do, I'm just making this up as I go, obviously you can tell. And another thing you can do is to open this up more, lean back with the intention of pushing your hips forward, but be careful, because this could, it's putting a lot of pressure at these points right here. But you gotta be careful, you gotta warm up your hips. Sometimes you want to do clockwise motions. Because obviously, if y'all can tell, I have some ADD, unofficially diagnosed, but officially obvious, right? I use the advantage of, okay, if I can just actively try to do a stretch, regardless of 50-50 or 100% each side, sometimes focusing on one side more than the other unintentionally or intentionally, or sometimes actively trying to do a workout. If I could just have fun with it and just do it, like for a set time amount, the way I see it is, you're going to go for a walk for X amount of minutes versus distance. You're focusing more on time versus distance. I'm just focusing more on time on the machine with the intent, and sometimes acknowledging that my mind goes haywire. But I'm still actively getting a stretch despite my mind going a million miles an hour in a million different directions. So right now you're just going to see me just do some workout stretches. So we had 110. Don't feel anything right now, but I know if I do go to 120, no. And there it is. Now I slightly feel uncomfortable. I'm trying to keep my hips up. I'm thinking about doing like getting a board right here in between my back and this pad right here and just cranking it some way. But I'm thinking if I get like a thick enough object in between, it'd be just the same when I set up. So when I set up, I'll be farther shot forward and to the point where maybe this pad will only go in between my knee and my pelvis, but I can just bend it so I can do like an Indian style, you know. And so I, basically at that point I imagine I would only just stretch this out without activating the calves. But I don't know if that's the same stretch, but we'll see. We'll just have fun with it. But so that, or I can just make elongated pads myself. That even be better. Cause look, my legs are coming out kind of out. That's one thing I wish Century did, would elongate this pad to this side too, and have a longer pad as well. Maybe 2 prongs. Or 4 pads. Something like that. So, yeah. That way, when I shoot up, so let's have that thicker object, like a thick encyclopedia or thick yellow pages. When I set up, my knees would be further out, but my pelvis would be probably right around here. And probably like 6 inches, whatever, 3-4 inches thicker forward than whatever the thickness of that book is. and I can just probably crank this out more to the point where I can intentionally go past 180, because now this machine can't go past no, I take it back, it can go past 180. So, but that idea would be good for the vertical side, because if you can tell, the bottom of this pad will touch the horns will touch the pads, the ground first before my leg does, so my legs can't go to 180. But if I put that object, I imagine even it push my legs up higher, thus allowing me to go deeper.